Hello viewers, welcome you all to our channel Prakovits. I'm happy to inform that we have reached 100 subscribers. This is our first milestone, and thank you for all the support which you have shown us through this journey. It was not an easy journey, it was little difficult, so we have started right from the scratch with a simple device, and then we keep upgrading ourselves in terms of technical side as well as in terms of the content side, so you can expect more quality videos from us in the future as well. So again, I would like to thank you for all the support. Let's jump into today's video without wasting any more time. In today's video we are going to learn about Excel tables. So I have seen most of the people who work in Excel for a long period, over the years, I have seen them not using tables. So first of all, let me show you where the tables can be accessed. So if you go to the home screen, under the styles tab, here you have an option called format as tables. So once you open this format, once you open this pop-up, so you get a drop down here which asks you to select any one of the format. So though it looks like just a color formatting for a range of cells, actually it is not the color formatting, but this is one of the most powerful weapon in Excel. So let me explain you what it means actually is. So now again, let's go back to our original range. So this is where you have to select the table. So under home, under styles, you have option to select a table, or the other option is you can actually select this range, and once you press Ctrl T, so Ctrl T is the shortcut. Once you press the Ctrl T, here you get a pop-up and you can make this range into a table. So I will explain you what it actually means. Fine. Now I have a sample data in front of me with the student name and their scores in each subject. Now this is just a range. So how did I know that it's a range or table? So once I move my control on this table, once I move my cursor on this table, I don't see any option called table design on the top. If it is a table, Excel automatically gives you a option called table design on the top. Since there is no table design, I can conclude that this is just a range of cells. Now let me convert this into a table. So I usually prefer going for the Ctrl T option. So let me change this to Ctrl T. Now when I change this to Ctrl T, here I get a pop-up. What it says, so it asks me for the range that needs to be converted into a table, and then it asks for a another checkbox, that's my table has headers or not. In this case, I have headers for my data: student or course, then Python, Java, Node.js, Ruby, .NET, Swift. These are actually the headers. Okay, so you don't need to think what the headers means, but these are the header labels. Yes, my data contains headers. So what happens if I uncheck this? So I'll show you what happens. When I uncheck this, Excel automatically thinks that there is no header already available for your data, and it assigns some predefined names like column 1, column 2, column 3, something like that. And another thing which you have to notice here is, here I got the table design tab enabled once I converted this range into a table. Now let me undo this for now, and let me go for Ctrl T, and let me have this checkbox ticked, and let me choose this. Okay, so now Excel has understood that I already have the headers for my table, and it doesn't add any column 1, column 2 labels. Instead, all the existing ones are converted into the Excel table. Okay, also here you need to understand one more important point, that is Excel table is more like a database, a relational database. So people who might be aware of the relational database, you need to understand that in a relational database you have one primary key. Normally you may have a primary key, and then the entire row of data are all strictly bound together, and they all actually form a data set. For example, here all the scores are bound to the student name Adam, and all these scores are bound to the student name Bruce. Okay, so that's how this table acts very much like a relational database. And another feature which I will show you, so once I enable this control T table option, here if you look into the table design, I get one text box enabled here, that is for the table name. Here you can actually set the table name. I'll show you the benefits of this. So let me name this table as scores or score. Okay, my keeping it simple. So this range of cell, this entire range of cell can be accessed with a label called score. So I'll show you how to do that. Hope it is clear till now. Now I'll show you another option. So I have actually selected this range as a table, but what Excel takes out of that, I'll show you. If you go to formulas tab, and then if you look into name manager, there you get this option. So whatever the name you have given for the table, that is score, and then your entire data, okay, refers to it says that it refers to the sheet A2 to G9. So that's the range of cells, and all the cells are declared as score. And there is a big benefit you reap out here, that is this range of cells can be accessed with the label score within entire workbook. If you even if you have 5 or 10 more worksheets in this workbook, they all can be accessed with the name as sheets. Now let's try them out one after the other. Okay, right. So here another key example. So let's start with the first benefit of this table, that is tables are dynamic in nature. So let me add a new record here. So I have Henry, so let me add a new record like India. Okay, so automatically, okay, so just notice something here, something happened here. When I have actually typed India, okay, before I type India, here you must be able to see a marker. So let me zoom this out. Here you must be able to see a marker indicating the end of table. Now when you type a new data here, let's type the data as India, here this marker automatically gets shifted to the next row. So even without our manual intervention, Excel itself expands the boundary of your table. Now you can see this, you can see the effect here as well. Earlier the name manager was showing the boundary as A1 to G9. Now let's go back to the name manager. Now it has actually shifted to A2 to G10. Yeah, so that's my data. Okay, A2 to G10. So which means that the boundary is getting expanded automatically. Okay, this cell is actually having different color because I haven't chosen the right format. So let me choose the format which we are using. Okay, that's our format. In terms of, so we have seen the dynamic nature in terms of row. It is also dynamic in terms of column. So even if you add a single column on the right side, assume let's add a new language. Let's add the simple JavaScript. Again, keep an eye on this marker. This is the boundary of this table. So when I add JavaScript, now again the boundary got shifted automatically to the right side. And now let's look into the formula name manager. Here the score is moved from G10 to H10 now, since we have added one more column called JavaScript. Okay, that's really cool because Excel automatically keeps expanding your boundaries. So what is the big benefit out of this? First one, okay, so let me just rename this for now. Let me just rename this to something like student total. Right, now what benefit do you gain out of this? The main benefit is, even if you apply a single formula in any one of the cell, table has automatic nature of spilling the formula to other cells. So I'll show you what happens here. Sum them all. Right, see, I have just applied formula in only one cell, and Excel has automatically spilled the formula to other cells. This is possible only if it is a table. In case if you try this with a normal range of cells, this doesn't happen, okay, without any manual intervention. Again, you can actually drag and drop, or you can double click to extend the formulas to other cells, but it doesn't happen automatically because this entire set of data is completely bound into a one single database kind of data structure. So that's the key point here. And other way, it's applicable on the either side. So here let me add something like language total equal to sum of okay. So again, okay, now you should have noticed one thing, that is it has not spilled anything in the row wise, because as I have mentioned, this is more like a database. This is actually like a database. So in a database, you can't group all the records based on the column. I mean, the rules don't apply based on the column, whereas each row actually acts as a single record. So same is applicable here as well. Adam is individual person, Bruce is an individual person. So when we have summed up their data, it has actually added all the data, whereas a Python, it's just a language, okay, and that's one just one column. When you apply a formula for this entire Python, it actually doesn't expand this to other cells. Here actually we can have one more option. I'll show you about this. You can if you go to table design, you have something called total row. This row automatically gives you the total values of this entire table. So let us verify if that's correct. Altogether it is, yeah, it's 2379. Yeah, that's the sum value. So automatically Excel has that logic, that is to enable the total row. And if you just let me come out of this, and even if you click here also, you get a drop down which contains all the formulas which you don't need to apply any formula specifically. Instead you can just apply sum. So when you apply sum, it automatically sums up everything, and then it gives you the result as well. You can apply the same here. So everywhere it selects the sum formula. Or if you want to get the average as well, you can actually apply average, and then you can take it forward. You can apply it everywhere. So that looks really cool. And so we can even apply average here also, right? So that's our average. Now again, going back to this table design tab, here we have if you don't like this pattern, okay, the color pattern gray white, here you have option called banded rows. You can uncheck this, and that actually removes the okay, let me select this table. I think this has the formatting problem because I have actually copied this data from another sheet which was a table already, and that's the reason it has not removed this. Fine, but the new row which we have added after creating this table, it got removed automatically. The banded rows got removed. Even if you want, you can also have banded columns, okay, so which I don't prefer normally. And alright, so I think we have covered some basics of the table. One is the dynamic nature, and then the look and feel of the table, and also enabling the total rows and total row at the end. Now let's see how to refer the table cells. Now assume you want to take out the Python scores separately, and if you want to do the manipulation separately, Python scores. So you actually don't need to copy all this scores, and then you don't need to paste them here. Instead, I will tell you a simple trick. Just go to the formula bar and type equal to score. Score is our table name. Select the table and then open bracket, just select Python. That's it. It gets automatically spilled with all the scores. Okay, so same way you can, if you want, actually you can select, assume you want to select another set of score, that is Java. Just drag this to the right side, you get the Java scores here. So the syntax wise it's really simple. Score of Python. When you actually just type the entire column name, it chooses the entire column. So here let me click here, and it shows the entire range, okay, of Python, right? And okay, let me remove this and assume what needs to be done. If you want to just select only one or first record out of this. So here, if you would like to take the record that corresponds to this particular row, you can write score of, here you must be able to see the pop-up like at the rate, open bracket, and then just choose Python. Okay, and here you must be able to see Excel just referring to only one single cell, okay, which gives you the result just as 11. So the key difference is this @ symbol. When you use @ symbol, it refers to that particular row value. If you don't use @ symbol, it refers to the entire column value. Okay, so this is really key point. We will be using this in almost all other videos as well. Even if you look into our previous video on Excel leaderboard, I would have actually used this a lot, right? So this is how the data from table needs to be accessed, and this is applicable, the syntax is common for the entire workbook. Even if you now let me show you by creating a new sheet. Let me create a new sheet here. So I have created something called sheet 2. Now if I want to get the same table again here as well, so how to get that? Let me type score. That gives you the entire table. Okay, that's really cool. So that's really cool. So I just typed the table name alone. I didn't copy anything. Now let me go back. Let me just select table all. Now I got everything along with the header values as well. Now let me select table headers. I got just the header values. Now let me select table data. I get all the data. So it's really simple to carry your data from one place to another place within a Excel workbook. It all works based on the references. So it all works based on the reference you have in the formula name manager. So wherever you type score, this gets automatically invoked, and then Excel starts resolving the address in the background. So that's how it makes it more dynamic. And one more thing, so now let me just go back here. Let me use the entire table all. Okay, so I have the entire table. And another point is, normally when you have a single cell, you just need to refer them using the sheet name. So assume here we have this data in the sheet 2, and if you would want to take a data from sheet 1, you have to refer the sheet 1 something like this. Okay, I'll show you what happens in a normal scenario. Let me remove this, equal to sheet 1. So this is the syntax, and then it goes for something like this. Okay, let me select something out of the table. So here it is, A13, that's 0. Let me add some value to A13, 5, and now I must be able to see this in the sheet 2. So in sheet 2 I got the value as 5, and this is the syntax, A13. Now you don't need to write sheet 1 exclamatory and all when you use table. Table gives you much dynamic way to refer the range of cells. Just select all, you get the entire data. So that makes it even more, that makes your formulas as well even more easier to read, and your formulas will be much more legible when you use tables rather than using them in a plain way. Okay, so that's it about the tables. I would recommend everyone to use tables instead of using the normal range of cells. Okay, so now we have spoken about the benefits of tables. If you ask, don't we have any disadvantages in table? I won't say I won't say them as disadvantages, but they are just the limitations. So what are the limitations of a table? First one, you can't merge and center the data. So assume you have a data like this here. Okay, merge and center is useful. Now this is a normal cell, and if you want this to be merged among multiple one, so this is the final look of a merge and center. So all the five columns are merged, and we got one single cell. But this is not actually enabled in table. In table, as I said, it acts more like a database. You can't merge and center the data within a table. So let's see this at HMC. That's the shortcut. Oh, okay, no, sorry. Alt H M is disabled. Okay, so Alt HMC. Okay, that's the shortcut, but M is even disabled for the table. So you can't. First of all, you can't merge and center the table. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's one of the limitation, and then there are very few limitations as well in table. Some things like the reference, the usage of dollar symbol, that's to log the references. That gets bit complicated when you use table, but those and all can be covered in under the advanced topics. But this is enough for today. Okay, so that's it about the Excel table. So keep using Excel tables, and they are going to be the future data structures of entire Excel. So signing off for today. Please stay connected, and thanks for all the support. Stay tuned. Thank you.